Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is not at the yard, this is actually at home. The weather has been either chucking it down in England or it's been freezing cold, and I've caught myself, especially now I'm not riding Milo and haven't rode him since, mid-October, start of November. I found myself going back through a lot of videos from the summer and just kind of reminiscing on happy memories like our beach ride, our lesson with Cam and Beer. And one thing that I kind of wanted to do was to look at our first eventing test, so our first walk trot canter test, which was the Cotswold Cup. That was back in June of 2023. And then our second and conveniently our last eventing test, which was also the Cotswold Cup. Oh no, I've got it wrong. That's me misremembering. So the first one was a Pony Club walk trot canter test, and then the second one was a Cotswold Cup 80 centimetre test. So I wanted to do a little video just to kind of reflect on the two and see the improvement side to side, because the photos there's improvement, and the first test there were, some things that were glaringly obvious that I needed to improve on, and the second test there were moments that were really, really nice, and then there were greener moments. So I thought I would put the two side by side and I will watch them back live and kind of react to them as they're going on screen with my thoughts and kind of point out certain things. I don't know if I'm going to pause the video at certain points, but yeah, I just thought it would be quite nice and interesting to see the two tests side by side, and then we can see when the improvements are. I hope you're enjoying. I hope you also learn something, and if you already know this, then maybe you're going to get a better eye for judging dressage tests, judging your own. I'm not an expert. This is literally just going to be my own opinion of my dressage tests. My instructor, she gave her opinion on the tests when she saw them, but this is, taking a complete step back. All the hype has gone from competing. I just want to see what I think of the tests now that, it's been several months since I've last watched them. So yeah, I will pass it over to voiceover, Tyra.
This is the voiceover. Hello and welcome. You join us as we are heading down the centre line on both tests. On the right hand side you can see he's just courses to the right a tiny bit, but he isn't as hesitant as he was on the test on the left, which was the original. However, you can still see that, both of those entries, as I make that first turn off the centre line, he does lift his head a tiny bit. We go into the first circle on the Cotswold Cup test. Again, he's got his head a lot nicer. The greener test, as I'm going to call it. You can see he has moments where his head's quite nice and low and he's in a good carriage, but he's just a bit more hesitant. He looks a bit more backwards as well, and I remember him being quite backwards. It was a lot of trying to get his leg on, trying to get him round, get his head down, not as distracted. You can see the turn on that left was so bad. Oh my gosh. The second one, yeah, a lot better. I just need to get him more rounded and sort of more consistent in the contact, I think. Again, that corner on the left one is just it. I think I had my leg on a bit too much. Oh, we're in the first canter already on the right. So yeah, a bit unsettled in the contact, head up a little bit. Left, he's starting to settle a bit more in the trot work now. On the test on the right, I need to get his shoulder a bit better. Yeah, he's always been a bit drifty, and you'll notice that in both canters on both tests, the drift is quite extreme. So on the left, we're going into, I believe it was meant to be a free walk. Yeah, there we go. Free walk on the long rein. And he is just a wiggly little worm. He's I needed to channel him more between my legs, but he was literally a green baby. First walk trot canter test. First time doing free walk on grass and couldn't really ask for more. On the test on the right, that was meant to be free walk, but I ran into my nothing box and forgot that it was free walk. There, again, when I go to take the contact up, you can see he's a bit resilient and a bit hesitant to it. He comes above the bit, quite a bit actually. Starting to settle really nicely on the left test. You can see he's lifting his head slightly and he's a bit like, oh, I don't really know. But there, like, look how good that was on the left. And that canter transition. Yeah, you can see the left shoulder goes completely out. And I just needed to really reinforce it. His balance just wasn't there. He could get round, but bless him, it was hard work for him. He was a little trooper. Test on the right is still sort of plodding along quite nicely. I think we go to change the diagonal here, but yeah, it's not too bad of a picture. I definitely could have got him rounder on the second test. Test on the left again, just the balance isn't there, which is why he lifts his head up. But that was quite nice. There we go. That little bit just over X was quite nice, but he sort of softened a little bit more. Test on the right, I do apologise, that was the partners, but yeah, one thing I noticed is with the canter on that right one, he looks to the right quite a bit on that canter. You can literally see his whole face, so I needed to really soften that right hand and let him go through. Still sort of trotting around on the left. Oh, and then on that down transition on the right, he comes out. So on the left, we're in canter on the 20 meter. Oh, yeah, and that's when he hopped near whiteboards, because I put him on a really crap circle, to be quite frank. He went disunited for 2 strides. I brought him back because I didn't realise he fixed himself, and we got like a 4 for that move, I think, because it was so disunited and so haphazard. But bless him for going off on the right leg again. And then, oh my gosh, we're heading up the centre line already. So, yeah, test on the right is a lot more consistent. I think there's green moments in it, but it's a nicer picture throughout. Whereas first test, very green. There's nice moments, but they're a bit more sporadic. I mean, the halts weren't bad. I'm not mad at the halts. They were decent for where we were.
And there we have it. I hope that was interesting for you guys. It was interesting for me to see that, yes, okay, there were green moments, and he wasn't as bad as he could have been, and he was wobbly, he was unbalanced, his quarters were going whatever way. But the first test wasn't that consistent. The second test was a lot more consistent, and I think that's the key takeaway, is that yes, okay, it's still green, it's still babyish, we're still unbalanced, but the picture as a whole throughout the whole test was a lot better. It was a lot cleaner. It showed, like, you know, we were consistent. Our left and right rein were about equal. We weren't really green. We weren't throwing ourselves around the corners like we were in the first test. It's good to see, and it's good to watch, and it's good to reflect on things like this. I personally have found it really, really interesting, and it's given me so much motivation and such a drive to just get him through in this kissing spine rehab, get back out there and go down the centre line with him again, because it's what I miss the most, is just being behind those ears. But yeah, that's for another video. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's a bit chatty, it's not really horsey, but I hope it's still something interesting for you guys to see, so that you don't have to keep flicking between the 2 eventing vlogs to try and find the timestamp. I hope it was interesting. I hope you've taken something away from seeing, you know, a couple of months difference of the same horse. Also, it was the same exact venue. Granted, we were in like 1 arena over, but it was same fields, same venue, just a couple of months' time with a lot of training in between. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you are surviving winter and looking forward to spring and summer. Longer nights are coming, they are coming, and we're going to get an extra hour of daylight in February, which I'm so excited for, because I'm fed up of trying to, you know, bring him in and out in the dark. It's just not a vibe. I will see you guys later in the next video, wherever that will be, whenever it may be. He has a couple of big things going on soon, which I may vlog. I probably will try to vlog as a more sort of educational thing. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!